Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to United in Strengths. We are actually very glad that you're here with us. And we know there's many hundreds of people that aren't with us in this moment, and you'll be hearing us a little bit on delay in recording. So a great big welcome to all of you as well. So my name is Ryan Nemec. I'm a psychologist and I'm the education director of the VIA Institute on Character. And I'm very pleased to be here with my colleague and friend, the VIA Product and Practice Development Consultant, Ruth Pierce. So thank you for being here, Ruth. So we are here on behalf of the VIA Institute on Character, which is a nonprofit organization in Cincinnati, Ohio, which includes many other people, Bretta and Kelly and Tracy and Neil and Donna, and many other consultants and senior scientists and so on. And we're here to provide a space for all of you. We know that we are suffering. We know that you are suffering at this time. We see it all around the world as you do. We feel it as you do. And we know everybody is impacted. And we want to do what we can do at the VIA Institute to offer great information and tools around these qualities called character strengths that are within all of us. So we want to create a space for people to learn a little bit more about character strengths, a space to practice with mindfulness meditation, and a space for us to do some sharing as well. Us meaning all of you, to share on how you're using character strengths and mindfulness at this difficult time. So that's what these sessions are about, and we're going to do about 20 minutes each time, offering some information and tools and stories and meditation. And then we'll have about 10 minutes and maybe more sometimes for us to share, for all of you to share on some of your experiences with our growing community here. Now, each of these weeks, as you maybe have noticed, will be a particular theme. So this is the theme of stress this week. So we'll have 3 sessions on stress. The first session will focus on ourselves. The second session on Wednesday will focus on the stress of being in a small, cooped up place, oftentimes, with our family. And then the third on Friday will focus on the world. And then next week, we'll move on to another theme and another theme and another theme the weeks after. And we'll just keep going as long as this is of use to all of you and support to all of you. This will be recorded, so some of these sessions won't work for everybody around the world. And so you'll be able to listen in on the recordings at any point as well. We are recording the character strengths and mindfulness sections. We're not going to record the personal sharing that some of you might do. So as a summary, we think of these sessions in 3 words. These sessions are about breathing, remembering, and connecting. Pausing to breathe. Pausing to remember our character strengths that we can bring forth, and connecting with one another. So I'd like to share a little bit before we move into a meditation. I'd like to share a little bit on each of those 3 words. So the first is breathe. So when we're running about our day with all this stress that's going on and all the unknown, the uncertainty, we're probably taking what I think of as stress breaths, meaning that we're probably doing a lot of breathing through our chest, kind of gasping for breath, desperately trying to catch our breath. And that can cause even more tension in our body. It can alter our blood flow, can alter our blood pressure, can create more tension in the muscles, and many other physiological changes in our body when we're going around breathing in a stressed way. So it can be helpful to simply pause to catch our breath. And I can give you an example from myself with doing that. And let me tell you, so my situation is I'm at home, as many of us are, with my wife and 3 little kids, all aged 9 or under. And my 3 kids are very zestful, very energetic, and very much all over the place. That's just their nature. And my wife and I are both working full time. My wife is having to leave some of the time because she's a healthcare professional, and sometimes she's working from home. So it's a huge adaptation for us, and our kids can be quite demanding, as many kids are. And they need food, right? They need food, they need water, they need snacks, they need education from us. They need so much more. So my wife is left feeling helpless so much of the time. We're left feeling anxious, and then of course we're left feeling frustrated, and that frustration leads to anger, and we're left feeling disappointed. So all of these different afflictive emotions going on, and then adding to that stress that's happening. And each of us has our own story. Some of you will have far more intense stories than what I've just noted, and some of you might have less intense stories. But we all have our stories of what we're dealing with. And what I found is that in those moments when I pause to just catch my breath, do a chest breath, and then just sink deeper and just breathe a little bit more deeply. Maybe I close my eyes, maybe I don't. But I catch that breath. I pause for a few seconds, and I tell you what, every time this happens, and I've been practicing mindfulness for decades, but still, every time this happens, I get this quick wave of relief, just kind of flushes over me. It's like this wake-up call that flushes into my brain that says, oh yeah, just pause. Remember where you are right now. So we can pause to just catch our breath. Maybe it'll be 2 breaths, 2 inhales, and 2 mindful exhales that you have time for. Maybe it'll be 20 breaths. Maybe it'll be 5 minutes. Maybe it's only 1 breath. But we have that opportunity to do that. So that's the element of breathe. So our body and mind will depend on that one. Now the next one, our body and mind will depend on, and also socially, emotionally, psychologically, and that's the remember. And that's short for remember your character strengths. So we'll be offering a whole lot of character strengths tools because that's the unique offering that the VIA Institute on Character can do for the world right now. So you'll be hearing a ton more in these sessions on this. But one of the best things that I can say right here in session 1 is to remind you that you have 24 character strengths within you. Science made that groundbreaking discovery back in the early 2000s, thanks to a big collaboration of scientists that led this global effort to discover what's best about human beings. What are the ingredients that make up our psychological makeup? And what was found was that we have 24 positive ingredients, positive characteristics that we can turn to use. Oftentimes, people think when they start to study these character strengths, like gratitude and hope and love and kindness and bravery and perseverance and zest and curiosity and creativity and spirituality and teamwork and leadership and fairness and zest, and the list goes on. Researchers have found, and many people will think of these strengths as being very much about our well-being, that we're going to use these strengths to get happier. We're going to use these strengths to get healthier, to build positive relationships. And absolutely, that's what they can do. And research shows over and over again that these are powerful boosters for our well-being. But what sometimes people, and especially people in the field of positive psychology and well-being, forget is that these character strengths are equally powerful for stress. These are our stress busters. These are what we need for resilience. These are what we need for adversity. And if there is ever a time in adversity when the whole world is looking and the whole world is suffering, it's now. And think about it. The whole world right now is using a strength, a couple strengths actually, that the world is typically low in: prudence and self-regulation. We have a societal prudence going on right now. for one of the first times, at least in my lifetime, which means that we are being more planful. We're being more cautious. We're thinking before we act. Prudence is one of the least common character strengths in country after country across cultures around the world, research shows. And we have a societal self-regulation that's beginning to unfold, at least for many people that are paying attention to the pandemic and trying to adhere and kind of do the right thing, to take the right precautions. People are then becoming more disciplined. They're managing themselves and managing their families more. This is self-regulation. These strengths take effort to use. It's not easy to suddenly be prudent. It's not easy to suddenly use, probably for many people, their lowest character strength of self-regulation. But that's what we are trying to do right now, individually, familially, socially, and societally. But then there's many other character strengths. We could sit here and go through all 24 of them. That if you're on social media, you've seen a whole lot of creativity by people to cope and to kind of try to make sense of things and to do their work in a different way. You've seen a whole lot of humor. I know I've seen a whole lot of hilarious jokes and images and memes that is useful at this time of stress. So the character strength of humor is critical. What about the perseverance? What some people might call resilience might be a synonym to perseverance, and that character strength that all of us are having to use, because perseverance is about overcoming obstacle after obstacle. And let's not forget about all the other heart-based strengths of love and kindness and social intelligence and forgiveness and fairness that we're having to turn to more in our relationships, and to connect with people with those strengths in different ways. So these character strengths are not just something that are nice, not just something that are a luxury for us. They're crucial for us. They're part of our survival, and they're part of us getting through all of this. So that's where that second word of remember is all about. Remembering you have 24 capacities that you can turn to and unleash and use. And then that third word that we're going to be using for these United in Strength sessions is connect. And as the chairman of the VIA Institute often says, we are social creatures. We are driven to connect with one another. So we can use this experience as a way to connect in deeper ways and in new ways. And so if we can do that here in these sessions, which we're going to try to do in the best way that we can, and we'll hear from your feedback on this. And also in the Facebook community, we started a group. Hundreds of you have already joined it, I understand, United in Strengths, where we're going to share our stories. We're going to connect that way as well. So not just in these sessions, but through social media. And probably some of you will come up with many other ways that we can connect. So that's going to help us to move forward as well. And I love that, because that taps into one of my highest character strengths, which is hope. And hope is a strength that we all need to be able to tap into. It's that sense of being able to look to the future and to still see the good, and to see that there's lots of ways to get to that goal, lots of ways that we can get to that end point. And we have the confidence to be able to get there. Breathe, remember, and connect. So let's take a moment now to do a mindfulness meditation. So we wanted to offer another tool besides sharing some of what I just shared there, but to offer a meditation. We'll offer a different meditation in each experience here. So this is one of my favorites, and it comes from my favorite mindfulness teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, who is the Zen Buddhist master that's written over 100 books and is really the marvel when it comes to exemplifying mindful living, mindful eating, mindful working, mindful speaking, mindful walking. So he has this meditation he's offered people called Mountain Solid. And I thought it was really appropriate for our opening session here. So I want to invite you, if you're standing like me, or if you're sitting down, or maybe you're lying down, with your eyes open or closed, whatever you would like to do. I want to invite you to just get into a posture that's comfortable for you. And I'm not going to tell you how to sit or how to stand. I just want to invite you to be comfortable for the next few minutes. Now I want to invite you to picture a mountain. Picture a powerful, majestic, beautiful mountain. Perhaps it's a mountain you've been to or climbed. Or perhaps it's one you've seen in a photograph or a movie or a video. Picture the details of this mountain, how expansive it is, how incomprehensibly strong it is. Notice the details and what's on the mountain. I want to invite you now to see yourself or imagine yourself merging with this mountain, where you, in this moment, you become the mountain. You are the mountain now. With each breath in and each breath out, you become more and more embodying this mountain. Feel your strength building. Feel yourself solid, secure. And mountains take on all sorts of stormy weather, turbulent winds and snow and rain, and humans, and so much else. But the mountain remains itself. The mountain remains solid. The same for you as the mountain. Through all the turbulence going on around you, all the stress, all the chaos, all the tension, all the unpredictability, all the unknown, you remain solid. You remain strong. I invite you to say this to yourself. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel solid. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel solid. So you'll find you can catch your breath. Remember your strengths when you're in the midst of stress. All you'll have to do is recall this mountain. Maybe you'll say to yourself, mountain, solid. Mountain, solid. And at any point during the day, you'll remember and feel that solidness.